Episode 1, The Arrival of the World President. One last look in the mirror. This time, he was truly ready to take over this planet called Earth. His last job had not gone so well. The natives of that world had grown rebellious, and there had been no other choice but to disintegrate the planet using the overkill generator. But this time would be different. He had prepared himself thoroughly, dressed in Earth mode, perfectly styled pink hair, a shimmering golden suit, a true masterpiece. Glazebrio von Schimmerfield, the Magnificent, the Enlightener, and the golden glittering guide to your future, he murmured proudly to his reflection. Yes, he was ready. For weeks, his drones had been flying over New Jersey and New York, broadcasting a message via hyperwave. The new president is coming. But apparently, Earthlings didn't understand hyperwave communication. There had been no reply. So now he would have to appear in person. And where better to make his debut than Paris, the most beautiful city on Earth, the so-called City of Love, and the capital of fashion. Surely they would appreciate his look. The landing in Paris. The golden glittering mothership descended gracefully onto the Champ de Mars, right in front of the Eiffeltower. Once again, they had tried to send a hyperwave message to warn Earth's leaders, but as expected, no response. As the massive ship landed, the crowds fell silent. Tourists from around the world froze, staring up in disbelief. Is this some kind of art project? Someone whispered. Maybe a movie shoot? Another suggested nervously. Then, with a majestic hiss, the ramp of the mothership lowered. A blinding golden light spilled onto the field, and then he appeared. Glazebrio von Schimmerfield, the Magnificent, the Enlightener, and the golden glittering guide to your future. He descended the ramp with great meaningful strides. His pink hair gleamed in the sunlight, and his golden suit sparkled brilliantly. A true showstopper. But instead of applause, there was only the clicking of cameras and the flash of smartphones. Greetings, inhabitants of Earth, he proclaimed in a voice that echoed across the Champ de Mars, translated into every language by his advanced devices. No one reacted. Instead, people whispered, "Did he just speak German?" "No, it was Spanish." "Are you filming this?" The French president's arrival. Suddenly, a column of black automobiles pushed through the crowd. From the leading car emerged a man in a sharp blue suit, flanked by 10 men in black with sunglasses. Calmly, he stepped forward, holding a microphone. Speaking in French, his voice was firm but diplomatic. "Who are you? What do you want? What do you bring us? Or do you threaten us?" Glazebrio smiled. Finally, someone asking the right questions. "I am Glazebrio von Schimmerfield, the Magnificent, the Enlightener, and the golden glittering guide to your future," he boomed. "I bring you peace, prosperity, and a glorious future." The man in the blue suit, the president of France, did not flinch. "I am the president of France. What happens here is my decision. But," he added diplomatically, "we are, of course, open to your assistance. However, we must first establish a formal agreement, a contract. Who will fulfill which duties must be made clear. Would that be acceptable to you, Your Excellency?" Glazebrio blinked, caught slightly off guard. "A contract?" He turned to his assistants, who whispered urgently, "This reassures the Earthlings. Accept it." Regaining his composure, Glazebrio smiled broadly. "A contract? Of course. I am a friend of diplomacy. I will grant you 3 hours to settle your affairs." The French president nodded politely. "Very well, Your Excellency. But first, I must discuss this with my wife." The crowd murmured in confusion. Glazebrio's golden eyes narrowed slightly. "With your wife?" "Yes," the French president replied calmly. "I will need exactly 3 hours. After that, I will be ready to negotiate with you." Glazebrio's assistants hissed nervously. 3 hours is a good idea, Excellency. Patience! Glazebrio nodded grandly and declared in his booming voice, "In 3 hours I shall return. Then we will negotiate the future of this planet." With a dramatic sweep of his arms, he turned and ascended the ramp back into the mothership. The golden light faded and the ramp closed, the blinding light slowly fading away. Within moments, the ship was silent and still, a golden, glittering monument towering before the Eiffeltower. The French president turned calmly to his advisors, his voice firm and steady. "Contact all world leaders. Immediately. We need a global conference before this." Being returns. A gust of wind swept across the Champ de Mars, carrying whispers of uncertainty and awe among the gathered crowd. The tourists, the reporters, and even the security forces stared at the mothership, as if it might spring to life at any moment. And in their minds, one sentence echoed again and again, spoken in that deep, commanding voice: "In 3 hours I shall return." End of episode 1.